Number 21, sort of an interesting look at what we mean by average versus mean versus median. Number 21, a small company has 20 employees, of which 9 earn 40,000, 3 earn 39,000, and 8 earn 19,000. The owner reports that the average salary of his employees is 39,000 per year, while an unhappy employee claims that the average is 31,450 per year. How can they both be right? Okay, so let's first, again, let me go to my Excel friend here, and let's type this in. Let's see, so we got 40 employees, so 20 employees, so 40,000. And we've got 9 of those. Now there is a reason why I'm doing, I'm going to copy and paste this 9 times. So 1, 2, oops. Now at this point I've got 3 of them. Let me kind of show you this in Excel just real quick. So if I highlight a corner, I can actually drag it down. It'll copy that number down. So how many do I have so far? I don't have 9. Okay, so there's that. And then there's 39,000. There's 3 of those. Oops. Let's actually make it 39,000. Okay, so we said there's 3 of those total. 8 earn 19,000. So 19, and I want 8 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I got an extra one. It's kind of what I thought when I did it. Okay, so let's go back to the question. The boss man says that the average salary is 39,000. So let's actually use that Excel thing that we just looked at with average. And so when I click on that, I do get 39,450. I get the average. And here he says the other average is 39,000. Well, what's the other average that we can use to describe numbers? And that would be median. So both numbers would be considered an average, but the question that I guess we need to address next is which one should be right? Well, if you kind of notice, he's got a bunch of employees at the high end, and he's got a bunch that are on the low end. So this sort of creates a symmetrical graph, and in a symmetrical graph, we want to go with the mean. If it's a skewed graph, we want to go with the median. So while they're both right in the fact they both calculated an average, this is a case where the owner quoted a number that favored his argument, and the employee quoted a number that favored their argument. But statistically speaking, the employee's right. It should be the mean. So it should be 31,450 instead of the median, which is 39,000. Okay, so speaking of identifying distributions, here's a good example of what we consider to be a symmetrical graph. And we're asked to determine which letters would represent the mean, median, and mode, and why. Now, in a symmetrical graph, and I want to emphasize this, you do want to go back and research the relationship between mean and median when it comes to symmetry. And let me kind of pull up and let me go to the internet and show you. Well, actually, I still have that. Okay, so actually I think this graph sort of gives the whole thing away when we're comparing mean, median, and mode. In a symmetrical curve, the mean, median, mode, in a truly symmetrical curve, the mean, median, and mode would all be the same number, would all be this centered at the middle. Um, if it's skewed left or skewed right, as shown in the pictures, the mean is pulled in the direction of the skewness. So if it's left skewed, the mean would be lower than the median. If it's right skewed, the mean would be higher than the median. That mean is always influenced by where the extreme data are. Okay, so going back to our question of which one would A, B, or C would represent the mean, median, mode, in a symmetrical graph, the mean, median, and mode are all in the center. So all three would be A. Sorry, B. 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 Okay, so again, you want to go back and look at vocab. If I'm asking about lower quartile now, chances are I'm not going to ask it on the test. But the lower quartile is the data value that represents the cutoff for the lower 25% of the data. In other words, if you have a bunch of numbers in order, there's a number that would be the halfway point, that's the 50% mark, that's the median. There's a number that would be the 25th percent mark. So 25% of the data is below this number, 75% is above it. That lower quartile is what we refer to as that. That's cut off for the lower 25. Number 24, you're given a bunch of data and you're asked to find the range. The nice part about range is it's just high minus low. So all I got to do, pull up another screen shot here, is look for the highest number. Let's see, 4,400. Is anything beats 4,400? Nope. And the lowest number, 18. Anything beat 18? Nope, 18 is the lowest. Okay, so the range is literally high minus low. So I got a range of 2,600. And that's it. All right, number 25, find the 5-number summary for the following data. So I'm going to go input that into my spreadsheet here because I have to reorganize them. So let me do that. And I don't necessarily think you want to see me just type a bunch of numbers in a spreadsheet. So let me pause this and start this back up when I get them typed in. Okay, so I got all my numbers typed in now. And so now what I want to do is I want to rearrange them. So I'm just going to highlight them, and in Excel I can just go to data, go to data and then, oh, it did. Okay, yay. Okay, so in a 5-number summary, we have the low, we have the 25th quartile, so Q1 is what we call it. Then we have the median, which is Q2, or median. Then we have the 3rd quartile, so that's Q3. And we have the high, or max. Okay, well, obviously the high would be 8.2. And the low would be 4.3. And now that I've got that organized, that's nice. Median, okay, so I want the middlemost number. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to start partnering these things off until I get to the middle. So there's an upper one, a lower one. There's an upper one, there's a lower one. Okay, so the middlemost is going to be the average of those two. So I'm going to add them up. That plus that, and divide that by 2. So there's that number. And And that brings me to Q1. So since there are an odd number in the bottom half, then I just want the middle of that. So let me switch colors here so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. So I want the middlemost number, so that would be 5.4. And then down here, again, get a different set of colors for it. Sorry, the bottom half down there. Okay, so the bottom half, I want the middlemost number from it. Oops, would be this number right here. 7.3 would be Q3. Okay, so those are my 5 numbers. And you just copy those over, or and you want to email me the spreadsheet when all said and done.